Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about kind of like treating yourself, doing something nice for yourself every now and then. I recently this is the dumbest story ever. I recently spoke to my therapist about something that I always have a problem with. As some of you may know, I do a lot of thrifting. And that's kind of like one of my hobbies. It's a hobby that you know, I've taken on since being chronically ill because it's kind of one of the few things that I can do. I go to outdoor swap meets. I can't go inside a store. So I do a lot of shopping there. I do a lot of thrifting. And of course, even when I need things for myself, I do a lot of my shopping there because I'm outside. I don't have to deal with harsh lights. And typically the weather is pretty good out here. So recently I found this, and again, this story is very dumb. Just follow me here and it's going somewhere. I found this brand of underwear and I actually did talk about it, and I believe I did a review of this clothes and this brand of underwear that should be, excuse me, that should be I think it should be already be up. And it sells pretty well. So I was buying it to sell it. And then I bought some for myself because I was like, oh, it looks like it's, pretty comfortable. It's pretty expensive, but, let's see, maybe I'll just try like one. Um, I get very, very weird though when I find something that I like, especially something that is more of an expensive brand or something that I could possibly sell. I get very weird about it, and I don't want to take the tags off, and I don't, because in my mind it's like, no, I can just sell it and make money instead of keeping it. And I did enjoy the underwear. It was very comfortable. You'll see in that video, I actually talk about it in depth because I think it's actually a pretty good brand of underwear for those of us with sensitivities, like if we're very sensitive to fabrics and things like that. And I was very comfortable in it, and I was like, wow, I really do like this brand. Um, but I just have that problem, and I've always had that issue of, especially recently since I've been doing thrifting, I will find something and I'm like, I really, really like this. And it's like, don't take the tags off. You could sell it. You could, you could do something else with it. Don't take the tags off. And a lot of it stems from, personal issues, the way I was brought up. We were sort of brought up to believe that we didn't really deserve anything. Anything that our parents did for us or gave us was not deserved. It's almost like they were doing us a favor. I remember, and this is a story I told my therapist. I remember as a kid, we would go to my aunt's house every Sunday and she would give us money. And, if she just happened to forget, we were told you're not supposed to ask her for that money. If she forgets, that's too bad. You don't deserve it anyways. Or she doesn't have to give it to you. That kind of thing. And so I guess I kind of kept that feeling of, you know, I don't know if it's that I don't deserve it, but I could be selling it. I could be doing something, it cost me $5. I could be turning it over for 10 or $15. Um, and I remember telling my therapist, I was like, I actually did need underwear. I needed new underwear, and, I kind of enjoyed this underwear, but I was like, no, I can probably just sell it. Um, and that really kind of struck me, and I told her, I said I would get excited because I actually did like it so much that I would get excited when I would keep a pair for myself. And I was like almost excited about having this new collection of, this new expensive brand of underwear, because I don't buy expensive clothing for myself. I buy expensive clothing and I don't buy it at full price, but I thrift it and I resell it. And I never keep anything expensive for myself. If I find out that I have something that's expensive and I didn't know that it was, I will sell it instead of keeping it. And so she was like, I want you to explore that. And obviously, I told her that whole story about my parents and my aunt. And it got me thinking about a lot of us that are chronically ill. Obviously, not all of us have this weird, you know, trauma or whatever whatever this is that I have. I think there are some people that are much more forgiving with themselves and probably love themselves a lot more. um, but there are other things that I've noticed, like days when I kind of feel a bit tired. And it's even, the thought has crossed my mind that, what if I just stayed in bed all day? Would it be such a sin? And it's like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that because you're going to freak out your parents. You can't do that because you have other things to do. You have your routine, you have your stretches, you have to go for your walk, you have to do all these things. And in my mind, I'm just like, I mean, do I have to do all of those things? Like, is it absolutely necessary? And so that's when I started thinking to myself, I really think that, especially being that we are chronically ill and being that we enjoy so few things, or that we can enjoy so few things in our lives, it's important to find, these splurges or these treats. And I'm being generous with those words because obviously we know that our limitations are, unbelievably restricting. But we should treat ourselves maybe even more often than a regular person, than a healthy person that doesn't have our issues. And so I started to think about, like, what kind of things could a disabled person or a chronically ill person do to treat themselves. Because obviously, like, if I say, have a bowl of ice cream, a lot of us can't do that. I would probably, explode if I had a bowl of ice cream. So it's almost like finding things within your limitations, within your, within the confines of your illness, that you can do, or things that will just kind of give you a little bit of pleasure, a little bit of happiness, something that will allow you to exhale for, every once in a while. And so I started thinking about those things. For me, I do, dark chocolate on the weekends. I don't do dark chocolate during the week. I will allow myself a few pieces during the weekend, and that's kind of my weekend treat, because I know that I just, if I keep doing it all the time, it can become a problem. And every now and then I'll experiment with another treat, like, recently oat ice cream and that kind of thing. And yeah, sometimes I make myself sick, or I start feeling worse. So I know not to do that next time. But again, not every treat needs to be something that you can eat. I also give myself the weekends off of my oxygen. Yeah, I might feel a little bit more tired, but I can move around freely without being tied down to that. And I only do it on the weekends. Sometimes I only do it just one day, maybe Saturday or Sunday. But it's just something that, it's like being off of my leash, after being on it the whole week. And again, the clothes thing, if you have a little bit of extra cash, if you see something expensive, I got really into handbags at one point, and I think I even did a video about that I kind of got a little crazy with handbags. More recently, I actually I actually spent my entire stimulus check on jewelry, on gold jewelry. And I look back, obviously, I knew that I was going to be, looking into stem cells and that kind of thing. And I tell myself, that money could have gone towards that. But at the same time, I was like, well, why couldn't I just do that? What was so, I wasn't dirt poor. I mean, if I really was in a position where I couldn't, where I really needed that money to pay my bills, then yeah, I probably shouldn't have spent it on that. But I was in a pretty good position. I'm still in a pretty comfortable situation. And I blew all of that money on gold jewelry. And I was like, why not? Why not? And again, it was that guilt for a while, and it is a lot of money, but I was like, I'm fine. I'm totally okay. And here's another thing too. There's always this thought in the back of my mind of, you're never going to wear that. You're never going to wear it. You're never going to use it. You're not going to do it. I have a couple of things. Let me give you a smaller example. I bought a little face brush and also one of those like jade roller type things a while ago. And in my mind, it's like, you're never going to use it. You're never going to use it. You're just going to leave it there. And it's like, who cares? I wanted it. And yeah, I never use it, but it's there, right? It's there if I ever want to use it. And it's almost that constant, um, you know, that constant dialogue in my head of you're just wasting money. And that was a constant dialogue growing up, with, my parents and my mom and that kind of thing. And I've kind of gotten to a point where it's like, so what if I don't use it? What if I don't use it? What's going to happen to me if it's a $10 jade roller? Am I going to fall apart? Am I going to have to file for bankruptcy because I'm not using my $10 jade roller? I don't think so. So with the clothes, the underwear, I did not buy it at full price. The full price is very expensive. It was very, very inexpensive for me. And I was like, why not? I'm going to buy a bunch. I'll sell some of it. I'll keep some of it. There's some underwear, some of the underwear is kind of, underwear that I don't really wear, like a thong or like, kind of a, you know, a little bit more showy, a little bit more sexy underwear. And, a lot of us, I hate to, and I think I talked about this in a video I made last year. Being chronically ill is the least sexy thing on earth. And you want to wear something comfortable, which is like what I'm wearing right now, a tank top and like sweats. But you also stop feeling, sexy or attractive. And, it kind of sucks. And I saw, some of the underwear was kind of cute and, not practical, and I thought to myself, don't buy that. You're not going to wear that. Get the high-waisted, full coverage underwear because you're going to, you wear, some dresses during the summer. I wear like these almost like muumuus, except they're smaller. And I thought, why not wear the cuter underwear, the more showy underwear? Why not? I might not be comfortable in them. I could just wear them for a few hours. Why not? And I start asking myself those questions. What if I just wear them for a couple of hours? What if I just wear them to sleep? What if I just wear it around the house? That's fine. It didn't cost me that much money. And even if it did cost me a lot of money, like I said, if you don't use it, you bought it, you wanted it, why not? It's a treat. That's what a treat is. I'm talking about that kind of dynamic. Doing things that maybe you wouldn't usually do for yourself. Maybe binge watch a show. Maybe that's something that you don't really do a lot, and because you feel like you're being unproductive or lazy, binge watch a show. I don't know. That might be one thing. Stay in bed all day, which is something that I still haven't done to this day. There are days when I literally feel like I can't, can't function, and I still won't go to bed. Take a bath, take a bubble bath, take a, whatever, just a warm bath, something. Cuddle with a pet, cuddle with your kids, cuddle with your partner. If you're able to, go to the park, go to the beach, or go to a local event. We have a farmer's market. We are now having, like another type of market every Wednesday night, and then once a month we have an art walk here in our city. So there's a lot, there's a lot of things that I can do here locally. I just have to allow myself to do it and say, look, just go and do that. Also, it can be the opposite, not doing something. Like I said, you could stay in bed all day, skip your walk, skip your daily, exercise or PT, rest, or just do something else with your time, with that time. That can also be a treat. And I have, told myself as well that if I'm not feeling up to it, I shouldn't do it, because sometimes I will just push through it and do it anyways. Or even if I'm in pain, I will push through it and do it anyways. But what if you're feeling totally okay and you just want to skip it? Why not? Just do it. So I'm talking about those kinds of things. It's more of a mental break than anything else. And also sort of a mental readjustment. And it's been hard for me. It has been hard for me because, for example, with the underwear, I'll say, you know what, I'm keeping this pair, I'm cutting the tags off, I'm keeping it, and then I'm just like, it's not really that comfortable. I just took the tags off, I could have sold it, and it's like, who cares? Who cares? It cost you $3. Maybe you could have made $10, maybe you could have made $15 off of it, but is it are you going to go broke? Are you absolutely just going to fall apart because you didn't sell this? Um, or because it's not 100% comfortable on you? No, nothing's going to happen. Um, it's actually happened that I've decided to sell something because I was like, you know what, just sell it instead of keeping it. And then I find it again. I find it again at the swap meet or whatever, wherever I bought it from. And it's like, see, there's no shortage of this. You can find it again. You know, if I would have kept the original ones, I would have found more and I would have been able to sell them anyways. It's just this weird anxiety, and this, again, it's a psychological thing, and this is sort of like having to reprogram your brain to offer yourself more grace and more kindness. And I think a lot of us with chronic conditions just don't. Because a lot of other people don't. They don't offer us that same grace and kindness, and we become accustomed to that, and we start doing that to ourselves as well. And like I said, at my story in the beginning, this all stemmed from the way I was raised and how I was treated by my parents. So it is a reflection of the way that other people treat us as well. And we do have to reprogram that. We have to reprogram that because this is, it can lead to some serious issues down the line, like getting sicker. And a lot of us have neglected ourselves. We push through. We neglect. We neglect joy and just basic happiness and basic needs, and we end up becoming sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker, because those things do kind of add to the illness. So that's what I have for you guys today. If you have any other ideas on nice things that you can do for yourself within the confines of your own limitations, or if you've done something nice for yourself recently, that would be something nice to leave in the comments, for yourself and for other people that are looking to do nice things for themselves, or are looking to make that a habit, because I really think that we should. So thank you for joining me.